Men do confuse love and sex. Sneaking out of the shadows. I suppose I am asking the dad something, although I can see it is a topic that has been covered before. I love my wife, she loves me, but we have no made love in 6 years. I think what scares me is the idea that she does not fancy me. More than that, perhaps she's seeing someone else. Help. Fairy mum, do you mean together? ROFL. I have tried for about 6 years as it happens, but I think the bit that worries me is that she does not think that it is a problem. It is all too complicated for me. Is it too late to delete a thystos completely? Dad's lib. I have tried and she does not want to talk about it, so perhaps that is it. She does not like me or does not like sex, but I would rather it is not. I can leave her without us making love, but I miss sex a lot. Maybe I should not make a fuss, but I am worried that I might do something stupid, as I seem to think about it all the time. I should not have asked the question, as it is all far more complicated than that. Charlie, thank you, but I am too embarrassed in case you know me or my wife. Now I feel really stupid. Sorry, I can only get to the internet in the mornings, so don't think that I am ungrateful. I do not think I have any kind of right to a sexual relationship, but I miss it a lot. The idea of a lover and the idea of prostitutes are not ONAS. I love her, that is the point. If I were going to ask the question again, it would be along the lines of, has anyone else had this experience? What happened? Did they sort it out? Or am I the only one who thinks there is a problem? Maybe I should not want sex so much. Fairy mum, do you mean together? ROFL. I have tried for about 6 years as it happens, but I think the bit that worries me is that she does not think that it is a problem. It is all too complicated for me. Is it too late to delete a thystos completely? Dad's lib. I have tried and she does not want to talk about it, so perhaps that is it. She does not like me or does not like sex, but I would rather it is not. I can leave her without us making love, but I miss sex a lot. Maybe I should not make a fuss, but I am worried that I might do something stupid, as I seem to think about it all the time. I should not have asked the question, as it is all far more complicated than that. Charlie, thank you, but I am too embarrassed in case you know me or my wife. Now I feel really stupid. Sorry, I can only get to the internet in the mornings, so don't think that I am ungrateful. I do not think I have any kind of right to a sexual relationship, but I miss it a lot. The idea of a lover and the idea of prostitutes are not ONAS. I love her, that is the point. If I were going to ask the question again, it would be along the lines of, has anyone else had this experience? What happened? Did they sort it out? Or am I the only one who thinks there is a problem? Maybe I should not want sex so much. Though I was not going to reply again, but you all seem to have points I need to think about. I think I tell her I love her and try to show her. I think I woo her as far as I can, as she will let me. I think I have tried to talk to her about this and about our relationship generally and not got anywhere. I do not think I am squeamish about sex, although I may have forgotten how to do it. Some of my fantasies about her are driving me spare, but they are always a boother. The biggest fantasy is that we are lovers again, and it do not just mean sex. I do think I may have left it so. Late because I am so afraid of ruining what we have left. Rhubarb and handle, thank you. If it were that simple, then it is exactly what I would do, but they are only words. Words are not enough. I do not know if there is any way that we can talk about this anymore. Maybe that is the problem, although I have no idea how we got to this stage. As I never stopped loving her or wanted her to forget that I stopped loving her. Looking at some of the other suggestions, I was in a position recently where I could have had an affair or at least a fling, and I did not. I could not think of anything that would do more damage to her. I think I am frightened that because she really does not want to talk about it, then I will begin at a disadvantage. Just being in the same house as her is better than not being with her. Pathetic, aren't I? Hi. I just thought I'd check in again. No change. And feeling especially upset about it. And can't help but think I'm being selfish. But I really miss her. There are lots and lots of threads a bit like this from a number of different perspectives, but no one has an answer. It's not sex as such, although obviously that would be nice. It is any kind of intimacy or interest in me as a partner as opposed to a flatmate. As for the chores, I try to do what I can, but I would do more if she would let me. My job means I do not get to home at a sensible time, and I think the idea of waiting for me to get home to do the hoovering would piss her off somewhat. When do I initiate sex? Ho ho ho. Last time was July. I am suitably shaken. I am not sure I can answer the questions. And I do feel suddenly quite defensive. No. Weirdly see anything of each other. Yes. For 12 hours a day she stays at home and looks after our son. And looks after the house we live in. And she works too, as well as doing a lot for both people. So in fact we spend maybe 2 hours a day together. And we are both pretty exhausted. I do as much in the house as I can. And the limit is time. No offense, but while there has been a lot of advice, there is nothing that I have not tried to do. Putting my heart and soul into it, I am not going to force her to do anything. That is not my idea of how a relationship works. I suppose what I want is for her to notice that we do not have a relationship anymore, and then to care about it. The reasons: crystal tips. Well, she might be seeing someone else. I have a few small concerns. Signs that I might have misunderstood. Or she might just not love me anymore. The best case scenario is that she simply does not fancy me. And while I could completely understand that I do have an ego, and it is as fragile as the next man's, maybe I should shut up. As all I seem to have done is painted a picture of a very stupid man. It would have been impossible for me to explain everything, what we do together, why we cannot do certain things, how little time we have, why I cannot be home more, because of my job, what I do in the home, and how much I love her and always have done. I suppose that these could all be understood as excuses, but please, while you can, feel free to think of me as an insensitive idiot thinking with his trousers. Remember the title of this toast: What I Miss This Relationship We Used to Have, and I cannot see any way that things are going to get better. We have not got enough money for a weekend away and barely enough for a night out. In fact, because of all our other commitments, we cannot have a night out even if we could find a babysitter because there simply are not enough days in our week. Yes, sex is an expression of our relationship that I am focusing on, because it is a big obvious difference between this relationship and any others that we might have. I am also focusing on it because of the little things that suggest that she is having sex with someone who is not me. I do not want to talk about what they are because I do not want anyone to say, yes, it sounds like she is having an affair, because although I cannot imagine when it is the biggest fear I have, as it says that not only is our relationship over, but that she has another relationship to replace the only I am mourning. What I hoped was that someone, a dad or a mum, would be able to say, I had this experience. Being patient and trying is all you can do, but it is enough. She loves you, really she does. But it seems that no one can scythe it. And that trying is not enough. It is getting to the point where I am fed up with telling her I love her and getting no response. I can believe. I want to scream and shout and cry and be angry, but I know what would happen, of course. As it happens in the past few years, although in particular over the last few months there have been opportunities for me to have stupid, meaningless sex with 3 or 4 women, and I have politely turned each one down, and I would not ever do that. If she left me tomorrow, I still would not. I want to be with her, to be her friend and lover, until the day I die. I have been fighting for 6 years, and maybe I started all this off because I do not seem to have got anywhere. I just meant the dull detail: crystal, salary, hours, house where we live, family and so on. If I give too much away, you might all know where we live, and come round and duff me up. Rhubarb. And others, of course. I do all these things. The actions, the demonstrations, whatever you call them, and they are invisible for some reason that I do not understand. I do not do them consciously. They are things I have always done. I do not think I could remember when I last bought flowers or a present, because that in itself is not remarkable. I cannot remember when I last washed up or cleaned the bathroom, because it is one of the things I do. We do not get time together. As at the weekend we are both together or separately, focused on our son, me in particular, as I do not really get to see him during the week. The long and the short is, does she love me? I am not ungrateful, but I do want someone to say that she does, and that somehow I can be sure of that. That my silly suspicions are wrong. That one day when our circumstances change we will be husband and wife again. That it will happen before I can take any more. No. I am not very aggressive or assertive. I am not very good at standing up for myself. I never have been. But a long time ago that did not matter. Yes. To a lot of the questions. I spend a lot of time with my son at the weekends. Just the 2 of us. But inevitably it just means that she ends up doing the shopping or cleaning. We do not snuggle. That is the problem. I lose internet access now. So you'll see on Monday all the other reasons you think I am a hopeless idiot. Well, it seems that I have to apologize for not having had internet access for a few days. Yes, my son is 6, and yes, Hayes now at school. As for my being rude, then I am genuinely sorry if people feel that where their advice was something that I had already tried or which in our particular relationship would not work. I have rudely dismissed it. As I said, I hope that here there would be some people who don't forget to share, like and subscribe for more content.